sales orders, there are a few system setup options you should consider. First, if you collect sales tax, what you'd want to do is go into the accounts receivable menu and choose sales tax maintenance to enter in your sales tax. You can decide on a code and enter it in and hit enter. It asks you if you to add, you say yes, and then you can indicate your county's tax code here. If you want to put in your tax ID number, you can do that as well. And of course, you can put in the tax rate. When you're finished, you can just go ahead and exit. It will save it for you automatically. Next, if you have salespeople, you'd want to also set up the salespeople prior to entering in any sales orders. Here you go into salesperson maintenance. You can go ahead, enter in a salesperson code, say yes to add it, and you can enter in the salesperson's name. At this point, you can go ahead and save it. You don't need to enter in any other information. Most of this information is for future enhancements. When finished, exit out of the screen. And next, what you'd want to do is go to the modules, system maintenance, maintain system interface. And here you can set your starting invoice numbers and sales order numbers. To set your starting sales order number, you would change this right here. Same for your starting invoice numbers. You can change that as well. There are some other options to consider. For example, you can tell it whether or not to use laser forms or to use a pre-printed form. If you're using a laser form, you have a couple of different formats to choose from. Same thing for a pre-printed format. How many copies you want it to print. That applies only to laser. Whether or not you want to verify a credit limit and some other various options. If you click over to sales order defaults, you have options to indicate what your default FOB should be. You can also indicate whether or not you want to print the weight on a packing slip and how many sales orders should be printed. And during order entry, whether or not you want the user to be able to see the cost or edit the cost. Also, which columns should they skip over during order entry. If you want to speed up order entry, you can go ahead and leave these guys selected, or you can uncheck them so that you can make an edit every time you go through it. Alternatively, if you do skip them, you can click into any box and make any changes that you'd like. Lastly, there is also a comment that you can put onto the system, which will print on every invoice. Thank you for your business. When you're finished, you can go ahead and close out this window, and now you're ready to start entering customer information and sales orders information.